Well, let me tell you what we're doing. We decided that you and lots of other people did a great deal of artwork between 1933 and 1943, and it was put in public buildings all over the world. I mean, all over the country, all over the nation. And we wanted to make sure that these things get preserved, because some of them haven't been. Some of them have been lost, some of them have been painted over, some have been stolen. And so we formed a group to try to preserve these things and to get the stories from the people that worked on them. And so we have been trying to find you for a long time so that we could ask you about it. Now, can you hear me? Am I on a good sound level for you?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Okay.
I think you're going to have to.
What are your questions you want to ask him?
Well, I would like to ask him about the, I have found some work that he did in Gallup. I found work in Santa Fe Indian School, or references to Santa Fe Indian School. Right. But I'm not sure. See, the other thing is that the money got taken from federal government and put into the Indian Arts and Crafts Board.
Okay.
So that they don't, when I ask Native Americans about what did you do for the WPA or the New Deal, they don't know. Yeah. And so it would be a question of, does he know anything he did in a public building during 33, 43, that time period, which he would have been in the Indian school in Santa Fe, right? And the other thing, the Santa Fe Indian School, the murals they have, they're not sure who did which one. Yeah. And so it would be wonderful if he remembers that.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure so.
And then that was the work he did with Pablita in that book by Tanner. It references that Pablita and Andrew Tsihnahjinnie were worked on the murals but I think there were a lot of others.
Okay.
I'm not sure, did he work on the murals in the Maisel store in Albuquerque? I can't remember.
Hey, Dad. They want to ask you about your work in the 30s at the Institute, at the Indian School. Did you make any murals there? Whereabout did you, what murals did you make there?
Santa Fe.
What year?
1932.
You were 14 or 15?
15.
15? Were you born in 1916 or do you know when you were born?
Yeah.
When were you born?
1916.
16.
November 16.
November 16, 1916. Can we go with that? Very good. What award did you win? Do you remember that I read that you won an award with the American magazine and you got to go to Santa Fe Indian School. Is that how you got there?
When did you go to Santa Fe? You went from Fort McDowell, Fort Apache.
Fort Apache.
Fort Apache. Were you painting there?
I went to Santa Fe 32.
In 32. Let's see. When why did you go to Santa Fe?
I study hard and Dorothy Dunn.
Yes. Who was there? Who else was there? What other students worked with you with Dorothy Dunn?
Eliza.
Yes, yes.
He's my dear friend.
I talked to him before he died, and we got information about him. He wanted to do the three-dimensional things though, So he kind of went on beyond Dorothy Dunn. Do you remember Pop Shelley?
Yeah.
She was there then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Dad, after you went to Santa Fe, who was all the people you worked with? Can you list them? Who did you work with? Was Alan Hauser? Who?
And Harrison
Harrison Begay.
and
Pablita? Pablita?
Papa Charlie and
Quincy Tahoma.
yeah. Harrison and
Did you do a mural in the cafeteria or in the classroom?
yeah.
Which one, Dad? The cafeteria or the classroom?
Or both?
Or
Cafeteria.
in the cafeteria? What did you paint? What was the scene? Do you remember?
Bobby Yevche.
Nebiche. Let's see. What other murals did you paint? Did you paint at Santa Fe or Albuquerque?
Yeah.
Where about in Albuquerque?
Bobby. Trading post.
Mazel's Trading Post, yes.
What year was that about? What year?
33.
About 33.
With Olive Rush
Yeah.
Olive Rush?
and Narcisco Abeta.
Oh.
I used to watch her in Frisco
Fresco, yes.
at the post office. She was painting the post office outside.
The Mazel's is not Fresco, is it? Asking.
I can't. Is Mazel, the Mazel mural, the mural at Mazel, is that fresco or is that,
Frisco.
yeah, it's fresco? Oh, that's nice. Did you study fresco under anybody else? No?
That's hard to do, right? Do you remember which one you did at Mazel's? I should have studied that one. What did you paint? Which picture?
What scene? What kind of scene did you paint at Mazel's?
Probably was a horses
Uh-huh.
and people dancing.
That sounds good. Do you remember what colors you used? What colors?
Probably black and gray.
Okay.
Are you still? I'm going to switch. I don't want to switch. I should stay with this.
Yeah, because he's in that line.
Yeah, right. Did you do a mural in Phoenix here?
Yeah.
When was
Westwood Home.
Westward Ho? What building is that in?
In town.
In town? Do we know?
Yeah. Scottsdale.
In Scottsdale.
Yes,
Was it
good.
Scottsdale?
The big one he did was in the Westward Hole by the post office downtown.
That said it. Petey the Pepper.
North Phoenix.
Help me. What did he just say?
What, Daddy?
Petey the Pepper.
Petey the Pack Rat.
Oh,
Is that one you did? But what year was that?
book
Uh-huh.
I illustrated.
Petey the Pack Rat. What year did you illustrate that?
1934.
1934. That might have been a little later, I think. I think it might have been in the 50s.
Yeah, it was.
See, why is it?
Bark.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
This is a children's book.
Yes.
I found a book that Harrison Begay did and showed it to him when I interviewed him the other day. And the family had never seen it. They were said, "Why don't you have this book?" Do you remember an artist that you knew in Albuquerque at the university named Bill Lumpkins? Bill Lumpkins. Okay. He was an artist that did real modern kinds of things, real abstract things. But I talked to his wife, and she said that he remembered, he told her stories about you coming to Albuquerque, and you stayed with him, and you were fascinated with the electric light, which was the first time you had ever seen an electric light. He said he would just keep, there was this light bulb hanging down, and you would just keep turning it off and on.
When was that? What year was that?
She didn't know.
Because
Bill
didn't they
died.
have electricity in the
Santa Fe,
Boys'
yeah.
Hills? Yeah.
So,
and
but-
Fort Apache too.
But I don't know why. And she said she remembered that Bill used to tell that story.
Huh.
He also said that they had lots of good drinking times together.
We went to New Zealand.
New Zealand. And didn't you go to Japan also?
Yeah, Japan.
Why did you go there?
And I was in the army.
The government let you go? Did their art change what you were doing? Did you continue to do what you had always done?
Yeah.
But the things I've read, he has done different things along the way.
Yeah. When you were in, you went to the Philippines, and where else did you go?
New Guinea, and Australia, New Guinea, Philippines, and Japan.
Didn't you do a mural somewhere?
I did a little bit in Japan.
Well, where are those murals? Where did you do those?
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Subject was buffalo. But what was it in, like a little bar, little shop?
Yeah.
What?
In Tyrone.
And where?
Tyrone.
Tyrone?
Tyrone.
And where we eat.
Oh, okay. In the dining room. Okay. Huh. So you painted buffalo.
Did they know what buffaloes were?
I think this is probably for the company.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
He was in the Signal Corps?
He was actually in the Air Force. Dad, you were in the Air Force? Yeah. What was the branch called?
38 fighter squadron.
38 Fighter Squadron. Oh yeah. Okay.
Were you in the Signal Corps?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Oh, we've been bombed. The fighter, they intercept Japanese bombers.
Oh yeah, yeah. After you came back, did they have a ceremony for you?
Yeah.
What kind of ceremony did they have for you?
Squad dance.
Squaw dance?
What?
Squad dance.
And what was that for?
killed them. Instead of as a war.
The things that had happened that you saw, huh?
Where was that then?
Or was that Rough Rock?
Many farms.
Many farms. You remember the medicine man?
No.
No?
He was not a code talker, right? Did he know any of the code talking?
Were you a code talker? Did you do some code talking over there? Code talkers. Yeah, did you do any of that over in Japan?
Yeah.
Who else did some of that?
Gorman? Carl Gorman?
He was in the Air Force branch.
Okay.
He said that there was code talkers in other branches, and he was a part of the Air Force.
And that's what I was wondering. That's why I wanted to find
But
out.
he's never went in with those code talkers.
Okay. No, I hadn't seen mention of it, but I thought being in the Signal Corps, it seemed logical that he would have been involved in that. Yeah.
Actually, there were other tribes that were in there too. I mean, like Choctaw and Sioux, and they used different languages too, as long as they had a recipient. Yeah.
That could respond.
Right,
Yeah. Right.
It's Coyote Stories. It's,
No.
it's big.
What did you do when you came back after you went through the ceremony? Where did you go?
After anniversary for a while, then I came to Phoenix.
Okay. When did you marry this lovely lady?
1950.
Aha. Okay. Was she from your home area? From your reservation?
No, she's Oklahoma.
Oh, you got one from, no, Hauser was from Oklahoma and his wife was here, right? I believe that's the way that is. Hauser told me that he had worked with his dad in Oklahoma building roads, but then he wanted to come and work with Dorothy Dunn, which made his dad real mad. He said he almost disowned me. But I said, well, I think you must have made a pretty good decision to come to Santa Fe. Were you happy at the Santa Fe Indian School? That was first.
Asked me if he liked it.
Dad, when you went to Santa Fe, what did you met Dorothy Dunn, right?
Yes.
And what did you think about Dorothy?
Well, she was real good to people and help a lot.
What did she teach you?
Oh, she taught us to lie and the lie. She gave us color paper, a lot of art supply.
Which was something they hadn't had much before, is that right?
Well, they had some, but not so much as instruction, the time to do it.
Yeah.
Really. So, when you guys met for class, did you meet after class or was it during school?
During school.
During school. And who was in that class?
Quincy, Homer, Sharon, Harrison McGirt, and Alan Howard.
What about Pablita?
Yeah.
What did you tell Pablita?
It's cellophane.
What did you tell Pablita when she first started painting? You were teasing her, weren't you? Huh? What did you say to her?
You must have been bad.
She was my girlfriend.
Oh yeah, your girlfriend for a while, huh? Those Santa Clara women, huh?
When I went overseas,
Uh-huh.
she got married.
Oh, see, that's the way they are.
But she got rid of him.
He was telling her that women shouldn't paint.
Oh, yeah. She did everything that women were not supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
She made a big deal that she bought property on Santa Clara, that she bought a house, and that was not to be done, and she was very proud of herself.
And she built it, and that wasn't supposed to be. She did everything she wasn't supposed to. Just basically.
So basically, he told her she should be, baking bread and at home and, doing stuff like that.
Did she hit him?
Probably. But then, and I believe that it was in the 50s, then there was was it at the Philbrook? I think it was at the Philbrook she had entered, and he was one of the judges, and he gave her first prize.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, now he has a very major painting there in the Philbrook, right? I saw a photograph of it.
Which one might that be?
The weaver.
Yes, I think so.
All different shades of lavender.
Yeah, I was going to ask him about this. This, do you remember this?
Yeah.
That one,
That's the weaver.
that's the one. Will be in all those shades of lavender.
Ooh. Do you like to see your work again?
Yes.
Why did you like to do horses running with so much life? How about the gambler?
Let's see, what's is that in the old town at Albuquerque?
Yeah, book Tanner. Clara Tanner. Very good book about all of these people.
She was married to Tom Tanner in Tucson.
Okay. The trading people.
Yeah, we were down there to see him about a year ago, I think it was. And he has one of his old paintings down there.
Did you ever paint anything that was not a Native American subject? Did you do anything totally different?
Yeah. I'm getting to carve the wood.
Wood?
Houser.
Like Hauser. Oh, good. Well, I hope you get as good as Hauser.
He's my dear friend.
Dear friend, yes. Yes. Very fine man. A great loss. Great loss. Did you, what did you do for fun at the Santa Fe Indian School?
For what?
For fun. Did you get in trouble ever?
No.
What did you do for fun, Dad? What did you do? Did you go for car rides or horseback riding?
I play football.
Like those things.
What about music?
Yeah. I play music.
Did they have a band at Santa Fe?
Yeah.
They had a band at Fort Apache too, huh?
Yeah.
Isn't that where you started playing? At Fort Apache?
Yeah.
What did you play first?
Well, I play cornet, then trombone.
Then trombone. And then what did you play at Santa Fe? Same thing?
Yeah. Trombone.
And then when you went into the Air Force?
Then I played in the Air Force. Then I went overseas.
Did you play the baritone?
Baritone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then after the Air Force, when you came back, who did you play for after that?
I played Salt River.
Salt River Band?
Yeah.
And then who else too? Would you...
Navajo Tribal Band.
Navajo Tribal Band? And then sometimes would you help out the Zuni Band? You play it with the Zuni Band? No, just Salt River?
Yeah.
Mojave Band.
Zuni.
Uh-huh. Who was the band director at Salt River?
I think what
Fred Emerson?
Fred Emerson.
Uh-huh.
Did you like to paint or play the trombone the best?
Well, I like to paint different techniques like the style.
Which one? You like both, the painting and playing music, huh?
Yeah.
Both of those you like.
Yeah.
What did you catch Minnie with? Your music or your art or your charm?
I started sculpting many years.
Okay.
She used to work for Lord Kiva.
Okay.
So
And what were you doing, Minnie, when you worked there? But what were you doing?
Working on Kiva purses.
Working on the Kiva.
Kiva purses.
Oh, okay.
Handbags that
Okay.
make and sell.
And you responded, but he didn't. What caused him to? What caused you to be interested in him?
Oh, Lloyd was just teasing, because I was an old maid and he was a bachelor. Yeah,
What was an old maid? How old were you?
about 26, 27. I didn't have her till I was 27. And he said, I know this young man, this artist. Bring him on. Then when they brought him and Lloyd introduced him, well, I was working on the purses real fast, and then Lloyd got us set up a date for us, football or something, I can't remember. And I didn't know anything about football, but I went. And he had a little Jeep, and that's then when he had come after me for dates, I had my mother, my sister, my niece, and my nephew would all pile in this little Jeep and go on a date.
So you got everybody, not just her. You got everybody. Yeah.
And I guess we went about 2-3 years, I guess we went with each other, because at the same time I was engaged to a boy back home.
Oh, that girl.
But that one didn't pan out, and I dropped him, and he started coming around every Sunday because we had prayer meetings at our house on Sunday, and he'd come on that day, and everybody was there, a lot of people, and then pretty soon we were going with each other, I guess. I don't know.
Tell me about this painting. Can you tell me about it?
It's a river
Uh-huh.
spinner. She's in the wall.
This
You're in the tool, called the weed.
These trees look. Was this done after your Japanese time? I mean, it has sort of an Oriental look to it.
was done about.
Yeah,
That was done in the
sometimes
50s.
you can't make a face, so you have to use the tree.
You can't make what?
Frame for you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But trees are hard to do, I think. And oh, well, this is just lots of type here. Okay, let's keep going.
This is ceremony.
This is what?
Ceremony.
The
Ceremony.
medicine.
Okay. Did you, like some of the people, get in? You were not supposed to, like Pablita, you were not supposed to paint or draw things, scenes from your village or your reservation, and you would get in trouble if you did that? Did you know Valino Sheehy Herrera
Yeah.
and Gerald Naylor?
Jerry.
That's one of the names he named. That was it.
I thought that's what I caught at one point or other too. I don't know a whole lot about Gerald Naylor. Can you tell me some things about him? You have a lot of names. Look at all your names. You're hard to find. You have so many names. This is a list of all the articles that have been written about you off of the computer.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Jeannie Snodgrass at Tulsa, she wrote to me. She wanted to know the correct spelling.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote back and I said, well, when you find out, let me know.
Thank you. I'm very glad to know that. But I got this at the Laboratory of Anthropology on their computer because we were trying to, and I don't do computers very well, but I was just trying to come up with your address I could write to you or call you. And I would just put in all these different spellings. Never get anywhere. I couldn't get an address. But
Well, one of the things, I mean, they just started using last names during his generations, because he was given a name, so that, to fit in with all the bureaucracy. So
Sure.
Surname, last name,
Right,
all that
right.
stuff. So I think it's funny about the different spellings, because and again, that will be just written language not too long ago.
yeah, right.
What was it? Declassified in 1968.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that for so long it wasn't. How did the name Tsinahjinnie get picked?
It's our clan name.
Okay.
It says mother's clan, so he used his mother's clan as his last name.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was visiting with a friend who's Pickeries, and I've known him for a long time. In fact, he was in AA with my husband. And I asked him one time if he could tell me about Gerald Naylor, or if he could help me get to meet Gerald Naylor's son. And he said, well, why do you want to know him? And I said, because he did a mural in the Department of Interior building in Washington, D.C. And he said, well, what about my dad? And I realized I'd never heard what this guy's last name was. I just knew him as Cliff, or Old Cliff. And his dad was Valino Sheehy Herrera. So Herrera and Hauser and Naylor and Woody Crumbo all did murals in Washington. And they're been restored. And Hauser saw his after it got restored and was very happy with the work that was done on it. Yeah. So that was good.
I remember at the Gallup ceremony, this lady used to come by and would buy their pictures. And they said it was going to the different office, Interior office. And there would be Fred Beaver and Pablita and him that I remember mostly, those three.
The biggest problem we've had in this project is trying to find the Native American artist and the Hispanic artist. In the Hispanic case, they just called them assistants and didn't identify who they were. But there's a woman in Santa Fe, well, she lives in Albuquerque, but her name is Tay Nunn, and she's done a doctoral work and has found a whole lot of the Hispanic artists finally. And it was really hard to find them, you know. And she had a big show in Albuquerque, in Santa Fe, and brought all the people and their families. Most of the people were dead, but their family members, and it was so wonderful. But with the Native Americans, most of the stuff went to the Department of Interior, and it's very hard to track it, to know what happened to it after that.
Yeah.
That was one of the reasons I wondered if he knew where anything was.
I don't think so, because they never told him what office or what city they were sent. All I remember is, she said they were sending some to overseas, and I guess it got bombed or something like that, and they were replacing them. And I remember that year that they made pretty good sales when she said that.
What
But,
would
you know,
have
I
been
don't
pretty good sales? Do you remember how much money?
No, I don't, because he never told me about his money.
Well, you were just a woman. Do you remember how much you got paid for your first painting?
300.
300.
I used that money to go to Chicago.
What did you do in Chicago?
I looked at the World Fair. Just I watched the people in the World Fair.
What did you think of it?
I think it was great.
Yeah, I would have too.
Interpret for somebody there.
Did you work while you were there? Did you do something while you were there?
Painted a little bit.
Painting. Did you do any interpreting?
Yeah, for a medicine man.
Who?
For a medicine man.
Medicine man. Oh, wonderful. Who wanted to know what the medicine man was saying?
He was an old man from Greasewood, I think.
Greasewood.
He was on the New Mexico exhibit.
Did you ever think about becoming a medicine man? Did they ever talk to you about doing that?
Yeah, and Marie was there.
Yes.
Uh,
And Hulleah
Marie,
Martinez. And Julian, her husband. They had just gotten married, hadn't they? I think. I
What year
remember.
was that?
I don't remember.
Because
But
you also went to the San Francisco World's Fair.
Maybe that's what it was.
Was that Chicago World's Fair or San Francisco World's Fair? Chicago or San Francisco? That was 1939, wasn't it?
Chicago.
Chicago would be 39.
39. And one was San Francisco.
Because he talked about the one lady found him and put him on the bus and sent him back. Said, "You're going to get lost." And I guess he didn't want to come back, and she put him on the bus and sent him back.
Do you know who that person was?
No, I don't. I could ask him and see, because we always tease him about that.
See, it's very important to have wives and kids around because they remember the stories. My husband just died in January, and I used to hear all the stories he would tell, and now I think I'm so sick and tired of hearing those stories, and now I can't remember some of them. I go, oh my gosh!
Dad, when you went to Chicago, how long did you stay?
about 1 month.
1 month? That's a long time.
There was a lady that could only put the back on the bus, so she did.
Who was that lady?
She was taking charge of the New Mexico exhibit.
Oh, okay. So she sent you back home, huh?
Yeah,
Did you want to come home? Was it time to come home?
yeah,
Yeah? That's good. You went to New York too, didn't you?
yeah.
When did you go to New York?
Oh, to learn silk screen
Uh-huh.
and fabric.
That was with Lloyd.
Who did you go with?
Tilly.
Tell it.
Tilly had a shop in New York trading fabric.
Uh-huh.
So I learned how to make clothes.
How long were you in New York?
About 5 weeks.
That's a long time.
That was pretty different from the reservation, right?
Which one did you like better, Chicago or New York?
That's it. New York.
New York? Why is that?
Yeah.
Why? Why did you like New York better?
Well, you mix the color.
You like the silk screen.
And you use fabric.
Did you do that work after you came back?
Sometimes.
Which medium did you like to work in the most? Watercolor or silk screen or what?
Silk screen.
Yeah.
I pretty like poster. Silk screen.
When did you? I read that you started drawing when you were 5. Is that right?
But
And
I heard sheep.
herding sheep.
My sister bought me pencil. So I start sheep.
Uh-huh.
What sister was that, Daddy? What sister? What was her name?
It's not
That's not so. What was your other sister's name? You had 2 sisters, huh? Or
In 2 or 3.
2 or 3?
Wow. These fancy things.
Let's see, didn't he have one named Louise?
Did you have a sister named Louise?
Il l'a pas.
Louise. Okay.
How old is it? Satisfied.
How many brothers and sisters did you have?
Three sisters and 4 brothers.
Were you the oldest or the youngest or in the middle or?
The oldest.
You were the oldest. Did you have to take care of them?
Sometimes.
But when you were young, when did you start herding sheep?
9 years old.
No, wow.
I think they usually herd as soon as they can walk.
Oh, yeah, really. I was going to say, if he was painting at 5, drawing at 5, herding sheep, yeah, right.
Because they said that there's still some rocks. I don't know whether he carved into it or how he did it, but since he used to do paintings on rocks when he was herding sheep, and he didn't take care of the sheep very good because he would be painting on the rocks. They said he painted on anything he could get a hold of. And even after we were married, he'd be sitting there waiting on me, you know, and he'd do these thumbnail sketches, a whole sketch like the gambler. He'd do a whole scene of that on his thumbnail. He'd be disappointed. He'd just wipe it off and start over again.
So he just had pictures and pictures and pictures up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's one trader at that old town in Albuquerque, I think collects his gambling pictures. So they might have some in that during
Okay.
that.
I'm trying to think of the name. I know Hanging Tree Gallery or?
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know where that square is?
Yeah.
And then on the west side of the square, you go right straight this way, just a little ways
Okay.
from that square. And that's where he used to sell. And then the other one was this lady that was close to the university that used to buy his paintings. And but I know she passed away. But I don't know I know the gallery is still open, but I don't know. I don't know what they did with the old paintings.
Did you ever want to be anything but a painter and a musician? Did you ever want to do anything else?
No.
No, that's what I figured. You were happy doing that.
Yes.
Did you do anything else to feed all those kids?
No. Had to buy food.
Yes.
They eat a lot.
They ate a lot. Yeah, right. I bet. You had 5 children.
Yeah.
How many?
7.
7. Oh, I lost track. Or you did something after the books were written.
There's Hulleah, Tsihnahjinnie, and Magawegi, Paihi, Gohi, and Yapso.
Oh my! And where are they today?
Well, Hulleah and let's see, Walaki is in Canada. She's a truck driver. And Chabani is an architect, and he's in Albuquerque. And then Magawegi is in Chandler. And Paihi, he's what do you call it? That computer designer or something.
Okay.
And
I got one son like that. I don't know what he does.
Well, I know he goes to work on computer. And Hulleah is a heavy equipment operator. And he also is like his dad. He does art.
Okay,
He
so
carves and sews, and he does everything, whatever.
any kind of art he can do.
And be
How about you?
I'm a photographer.
I was figuring you were a photographer, but so that's your expression of art.
I got artwork too that she's done. I think she thrown it away, and I went and picked it up when she
Good
was
for you.
little.
What was it like to be his daughter, his oldest daughter?
Well, one of the things we get is perspective lessons. A lot of perspective lessons and music lessons. We get, let's see, in the drawing would be perspective and color, and then the music would be about harmony and all. I mean, because he really knows music. I mean, in and out. I mean, he can transpose a piece in no time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that you feel strongest about in terms of being married to this man? What was it like being married to him?
Well, he's taught me a lot of patience. Oh, that was. And when I had to fuss with him, he had to fuss and he'd look up at me. And if I slowed down, he'd say, "Are you through?" That would start me off again. But I learned patience from him.
Yes.
And that not to worry, things will.
Oh, we must have been married to the same man. I worried. Okay. Oh, don't worry.
That's what he would say. And he says he's not traditional, but he is really traditional. And when the kids and their kids came home, he'd say, "Don't take them out after dark." They had ashes they had to put on the kids before they went out. Or don't handle that feather because it's like this, you know. And I've never seen him paint nothing that was non-traditional. It was just all tradition.
Okay.
And let's see, he used to never brag about himself or talk about himself. And that was another thing, you know how people, some artists, they just brag, I did this, I done that, Not him. And he didn't want us, and that's one reason we don't have too much record about him. He would not let us use clippings about him. He says, that can't feed us, being in the news. And he was, and then he'd say, how soon can you be ready? And I can tell that he's getting restless. So about a day or two, I start getting ready. And I said, as soon as you put these boxes in the car, I'm ready. And then we'd go and we'd travel. And he didn't worry about whether we had money or not, He knows that, it's going to come, and don't worry about it. And so we did. The kids traveled. We went to things in different cities, and they knew, a lot of things. And like she said, they'd come home and they'd say, "Mom, you already know about perspective." Says, "Why can't those kids get it?" Because that was every day, and nudity wasn't nothing for them.
Yeah.
Because he taught them that it was sort of like beauty, And they saw anything like that, it didn't faze them one bit, And he'd have all different things, you know, and but his room, you don't go into it. You don't go into it. Even I've got a little great grandson, and he knows. He goes to Grandpa's door and he stops, you know, and he'll say, or if I go in there to straighten up something, he'll say, Grandpa's coming. No, I think the biggest thing I learned from him is patience, and he's kind. But when he gets mean, he gets mean.
Yeah, we were married to the same man.
Yeah.
Well, I think we are about to run out of tape, so.
You know, I really haven't heard him talk too much about the work he's done for the government. I know he did some at Window Rock, or that, something like that, WPA.
Well, that was that building, the Capitol at Window Rock, the Navajo Capitol. That was a WPA project, and this man Bill Lumpkins was the architect on it. But he was an artist who then became an architect. But there were a lot of buildings where you all painted, and I want to thank you for doing that. Thank you very much for all those things that you've painted, wherever. And I wish I could go see them all. Is there anything else you'd like to share with us about things, your life in the 30s? Was it pretty hard? Or were you too young to know?
Too young.
But were you happy? I mean, you had Pablita.
I painted Ernst Treated Coyote. Coyote dog.
Yeah, yeah.
And some Navajo kids. I used to walk from 4 to 5 to window out. Sometimes I kids are right.
So you.
What about your bicycle ride from Santa Fe?
Bicycle ride from Santa Fe?
Sometimes I rode from Santa Fe to Albuquerque on a bicycle.
You had good legs, right? But the Indian school was a good place? They weren't too mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much for letting us come today and talk with you. Okay? All right.
I used to ride in the rodeo.
You rode the road. Now we're getting other stuff. This is what happens. Generally, it's after we turned it off. What did you ride?
I rode the bull,
The bull. Did you shoot the bull too?
the horse, the mule.
Everything. What about Brahma bulls? Good. How did you start doing that? Why did you do that?
To get money.
Nice.
Yeah, he's relaxing now.
Was that when you had all those kids, or before when you were just running around having fun?
That was before.
How old were you all when you were 26 when you got married? How old was he?
He's about 20 years older than I am.
Okay. Okay. So he was a real bachelor then all the time.
Yeah, he was set in his way.